Another example of statistics that's really obvious right now is um, COVID-19, trying to figure out what keeps people healthy, how people can be protected, and what's going to happen. So this is the CDC website, um, and a report they published recently about their forecasted trends. So what they've done is they've taken a bunch of mathematical models and they're trying to predict the future number of cases in these kind of shaded areas. You can see there are some projections that put the number of new weekly deaths going up into 40,000, so a huge number of those, but the most of them are clustered down here. Um, Same thing for each of these. They can try and look to say what's the likelihood that we're going to have these different outcomes. Um, and the reason this is valuable is that they can make decisions based on this. If all of these um, projections were showing that the number of cases was going to spike, then that might lead to new public policies about everyone wearing masks or staying home, um, or that the hospitals would take some kind of different action. Right? Uh, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but these projections are useful for being able to give us an insight of what might happen based on the past and different models of the future. Obviously, none of these are going to be perfect, but we have some sense now using these of what could be coming. This same approach is used in things like marketing to forecast sales. So we know we've been selling our t-shirts, they've been around this, and we think that the future sales are going to be this. And the reason that would be important in sales is if we think the demand is going to increase, then we need to make sure that we have enough supply to meet that increase. Um, Maybe there's going to be some kind of event. So if we're making t-shirts for universities, the sale for t-shirts for universities in July is probably much less than in August when people are going back to school and maybe buying shirts, like a pride thing, go back to school, get your Bearcats shirt, and be ready to go. So these forecasting methods are really useful. We'll talk about them at the very end of class about how we can use methods that are based on time. Uh, but if you just kind of think about what this looks like, if you were to turn it 90 degrees, it actually can look like a histogram. So the spread of the points here at this future time, and you get a sense of the spread of how likely it is that the weekly deaths are going to be this number or that number. So based on these projections, it's unlikely that the death will be zero. It's also unlikely that the weekly new death will be 100,000. Um, right? So that's improbable. This kind of spread gives us a sense of what we might want, what we might expect for the future, and then in this case, how we can take steps to protect ourselves and keep everyone safe.